Today's topic of discussion is tooth development. Tooth development is an orchestrated and continuous process which starts in embryonic life. On 37th day of intrauterine life, on developing maxillary and mandibular arches, we see thickening of oral ectoderm in a horseshoe-shaped pattern, and this thickening is called as primary epithelial band. This band proliferates to form two processes called as vestibular lamina and dental lamina. The cells of the vestibular lamina degenerate to form the vestibule. This entire odontogenesis is the result of a smooth interaction between epithelium and ectomesenchyme, and this is called as epithelial mesenchymal interaction. On each of these dental lamina at 10 different locations, there is proliferation of cells as buds into the underlying ectomesenchyme, which correspond to the primary dentition. This is an attempt at a 3D view to show the location of the dental lamina beneath the oral ectoderm and how the tooth buds are arising from this dental lamina on the arch. As the buds start forming, the mitotic activity of the ectomesenchymal cells in the vicinity of the buds increases. This leads to ectomesenchymal condensation beneath and around the buds. The tooth buds are called as the dental organs or the enamel organs, and the tooth buds along with the condensed ectomesenchyme around them are called as tooth germs. From here, the dental organ goes through different morphological stages such as bud stage, cap stage, early bell stage and advanced bell stages due to differential growth of the cells within. To this growth in epithelium, the ectomesenchyme reciprocates by condensing beneath and around the dental organ. The condensation beneath is called as the dental papilla, which forms dentin and pulp, and the condensation around is called as the dental sac, which forms cementum, periodontal ligament and alveolar bone. The cells undergo morpho and histodifferentiation as the stage progresses. In bud, we see peripheral cuboidal cells and central polyhedral cells. In cap stage, we see the inner layer lined by the low columnar cells called as inner dental epithelial cells with centrally placed nucleus and outer enamel epithelial cells. There is inflow of fluid in intercellular spaces due to high glycosaminoglycan content, and because of this, these cells separate but retain attachment and become star-shaped, and these cells are hence called as stellate reticulum cells. The early bell stage, inner dental epithelium matures to become ameloblast, which are tall columnar cells with nucleus placed away from the basement membrane, that is polarized nucleus. Along with that, we have cells such as outer dental epithelial cells and stratum intermedium cells. With the help of stratum intermedium, the ameloblasts form enamel, and we also have stellate reticulum cells in this stage. The peripheral cells of the dental papilla now form the odontoblasts, which oppose the ameloblasts and sit on a basement membrane. These are the odontoblasts which form the dentin. Now the membrane separating odontoblasts and ameloblasts is called as membrana preformativa, which forms the future dentino-enamel junction. This highlighted area is the junction between outer and inner enamel epithelial cells without any intervening stellate reticulum cell. This area is called as cervical loop, which forms Hertwig's epithelial root sheath later, which forms the scaffold for root formation. It's an area with high mitotic activity. In advanced bell stage, there is formation of hard tissues, that is enamel and dentin, and here the dental lamina breaks and the tooth germ is not connected to the oral ectoderm anymore. Advanced bell stage, I have taken a new slide because I feel that this needs little bit of explanation and clarity in the drawing. Now I'm drawing these layers just like this. You will need to draw later. And I tell you, the two important events happening during advanced bell stage is the formation of hard tissues and reversal of nutrition due to the formation of hard tissues. Now the cells that I have drawn here are the ameloblasts, which, and these are the outer enamel epithelial cells, labeling of which we will be doing later. And the cells here, these are the peripheral cells of the dental papilla, which form the odontoblasts, which form dentin in future. Now this is the enamel formed by the ameloblasts with the help of the stratum intermedium. Now this is the dentin formed by the odontoblasts. Now I will just label, this is the outer dental epithelial cells, these are ameloblasts, and these are the stratum intermedium cells. Both the ameloblast and stratum intermedium together form the enamel. Without stratum intermedium, ameloblasts cannot form the enamel. At this point, let's just take a little bit of time to discuss the events in the advanced bell stage. Now, as I said that these development of tooth is due to epithelial mesenchymal interaction. Here in this stage, you can really appreciate those events. Now, the dental papillary cells first form the odontoblast. Now these odontoblasts tell the inner enamel epithelial cells to turn into ameloblasts. Once these ameloblasts are formed, these ameloblasts instruct the odontoblast to form the dentin. Now once the dentin is formed, the ameloblast will start laying down the enamel. This is the kind of crosstalk happening between the ectodermal cells, that is an ameloblast, and the ectomesenchymal cells, those are the odontoblasts. And this kind of reciprocal induction is basically a kind of the theory behind epithelial mesenchymal interaction. The second important event that is happening in advanced bell stage is the reversal of the nutritional stream. Now how is that happening? Initially the ameloblast was receiving the nutrition from the dental papillary cells. Now because of the formation of the hard tissues, the distance between the dental papillary blood vessels and ameloblast has increased. So because of this, ameloblasts have to depend on their nutrition from elsewhere, and the closest connective tissue is the dental follicle cells. So to bring the blood vessels closer to ameloblasts from in the dental follicle cells, the outer dental epithelial cells get thrown into folds. This is how the nutrition now is from the dental follicle cells to the ameloblasts, and this is called as reversal of nutritional stream. This infolding is happening is due to the collapse of the stellate reticulum. Now let's complete the labeling. These are the odontoblasts, which form the dentin. Now these are the dental papilla cells. These are the dental follicle cells forming periodontal ligament, cementum and alveolar bone. And this is the dentino-enamel junction, which was the membrana preformativa before. Now coming to the last part of the labeling, that is the cervical lobe, which forms the Hertwig's epithelial root sheath, which forms the scaffold for root formation. Hope with this video the concept of odontogenesis and the stages involved is clear. Please watch next video for the drawing of all these stages, all the histological stages. Thank you. See you all soon. Bye.